I mean, imagine you go all around the world and smash up everything that other civilizations built, loot what they built, pillage, steal, even steal their ideas and their concepts and their philosophies. And then you sit on top of this mountain of stolen goods and declare yourself to be rich because of your own merit. And imagine telling this lie to your children, to your own children, to your grandchildren, generation after generation. How do you think that's going to go? You didn't invest in creating actual merit. You cheated, you lied, you stole, you brutalized. And then you tell your own people that everyone else in the world has nothing and you have everything because of how much better you are than everyone else. How long is that lie sustainable? I mean, these are people who actually have civilizations, who actually created and built and accomplished and didn't just pillage and plunder. And there's still those people today, even though you have oppressed them, there's still those same people. And you're still the way you are. I mean, a good example actually is African Americans. I don't know if you can think of a people who were more held back, more deprived, more sabotaged than African Americans. You took everything away from them and took them away from everything. They started in your country at less than zero, literally regarded and treated as subhuman, not allowed to learn to read or write or anything for hundreds of years. But you see, they come from a people of accomplishment to one degree or another. Not a people of piracy and theft and appropriation. They come from a people who created and built and developed in their own countries, in their own land.
I've never told this story in a video. I've mentioned it on podcasts before, but I've never made a video and told the story. My mother, seen here, was 16 years old when I was born. My dad was 21. They'd been together since she was 14. So she was 14, he was 19 when they got together. You guys have heard me talk about my dad before. He was very racist. My mother will tell you the same. And my mother, being very young and uneducated, she just kind of went along with whatever my dad did. And he was also abusive. My mother was abused. And I talked to her before I made this video to make sure that she's okay with me telling that part of her story. My dad was a domestic abuser and also a child abuser. He abused me as well. That's not the point of this video, though. When I was 3 years old, my mother was 19. She found the courage to leave my dad, which wasn't easy to do. And the divorce was nasty because my dad he's passed away now, a pretty controlling, narcissistic type guy. And shortly after leaving my dad, my mother was in a relationship with another man who was a black man. And my dad being the racist. See, I was raised in the 80s in North Carolina, and my dad was a racist. So her leaving him for a black man was like this big taboo thing. Like, you don't do that. And so when everything went to court, my dad ultimately got custody of me because the judge in the 80s in North Carolina is not giving the child to the woman dating a black man, to the white woman dating a black man, especially when my dad was the one with the career and the income and the money, and my mom had nothing. He had left her with nothing. Fast forward to when I was 10 years old. During those 7 years after the divorce, my dad taught me to hate my mom. He taught me that she was a sinner, that the Bible did not approve of interracial marriages. He showed me in the Bible where the Bible says you can't marry outside your race. And I believed her to be basically of the devil himself. I hated her. When I was 10 years old, I found out that my dad was being taken to court because my mother was trying to get visitation rights. I was terrified. I didn't want to meet this evil woman. She won. She got visitation rights of me. I'll never forget ever to this day. I can still vividly remember where I was, the weather and everything when she picked me up the first time. I was terrified. But I made it my mission, that first visit, that she would never visit me again. I made that my mission, that she would never want to see me after this day. I called her a sinner. I called her children, because she had 3 children with her second husband. Obviously, they were biracial children. And I called her children the N-word. I called her an N-word lover. Now, keep in mind, I'm 10 years old. But this is how I was raised. This is what I believed at age 10. And she told me, you shouldn't think like this or talk like this. And I ignored her. It was like a 2-hour visitation, whatever it was. And then she dropped me back off at my house. And I told my dad, she'll never pick me up again, Dad, I promise you. 2 weeks later, when it was time for her next visitation, I waited in my yard on the Saturday at the time that I was supposed to be there. And I was sure she wouldn't pull up, but she did. She did pull up. I was befuddled. Oh my God, she came back. This time, she took me to her house in a mostly black neighborhood, and a place I had never been. I was raised on the mountain, all white neighborhood, very much racist. And I was told that black neighborhoods were crime-ridden, filthy areas. Avoid them. So I went to this black neighborhood and I thought, oh my God. I went in her house and she said, I want you to meet your brothers and sisters. And they came out and they were so excited to see me because my mom had never told them a bad thing about me. And I wanted to be mean to them because that's how I was raised. But I couldn't bring myself to be mean to them because they were so nice and polite to me. I was not nice to them. I tolerated them in my mind, but I wasn't mean to them. And then every 2 weeks she came and got me. And over the course of time, I built a relationship with my siblings, with her. And I started questioning things like maybe the things my dad told me are not true, because what I see in this neighborhood, what I see in my mom's house, what I see everywhere is not what I was told. And I had a choice to make at the early age of about 11. Do I believe what I was raised, or do I challenge these ideas? And just like my mom had got away from my dad and challenged those ideas and grew and was better, I decided that I too can be better. I started challenging the ideas my dad raised me in. It started a very tumultuous relationship with my dad, as if it wasn't tumultuous to begin with. Again, I was an abused child. I'm trying to keep this video short, so I'm missing a lot of very deep details, but I'm trying to give you the idea. By the time I was 15, I had read books and read the speeches of Dr. King and watched interviews with Malcolm X. And I really started realizing, like, there's a whole nother world out there that I didn't realize. Fred Hampton, Angela Davis, these things really opened my eyes. And I even basically got into a fight with my dad over it when I was 15 and was thrown out of my house. But my deconstruction process had begun, and it has continued for the past, 27 years. I'm 42 now. And it's all thanks to my mom. Just being a mom. Just showing up. And I've never had like the closest relationship with my mom because the story I just told you. But I've been friends with her now for, how old is that? 25 years. And I just want to say thanks for showing up. Thanks for not giving up on me. I may have never challenged my ideas and beliefs and may have been stuck in the same trap that, I was born into, and I wasn't. So, thanks, Mom.
No one is really born a racist. Racism is taught, it is inculcated, it is instilled. Just as children learn to read and write, so children also taught segregation, superiority, racism and all that. And that is what this video is all about. We're looking at a couple of videos where you have people giving accounts of how they have been raised and certain indoctrinations were instilled in them about the black people and the black community. And some of these people are coming to the realization that what they were told was not true. And so this video is not geared towards attack or anybody. It is purely for educational purposes. If you're coming across my YouTube channel, you're welcome. Feel free to hit the subscription button and the notification button to support your dear brother. And so we'll dive right into the video, and when we come back, we'll give you our own conclusion on the subject matter. Credits to the original content creators of the videos shared in this platform.
The white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time. It's time to expose. Alright, so one time I was with this group of white people, and the girls were talking about this girl who had jungle fever. And this white girl goes, "Isn't it a shame to see our race mixing with another? What's going to happen to our white purity?" I couldn't believe what I just heard. There was another time where I was at a party and the only other black person there left early. Right after he left, one of the white dudes there proceeded to say the N-word. Not even in a song or anything, just said it out loud. When I confronted him about it, he said, "What? He's not here anymore." Little did he know that I'm a double agent. Needless to say, that situation was handled. There was another time where we were talking about an opposing basketball team. We were talking about why the team was so good, and somebody goes, "They're only good because they let all the charity cases on the team." There were no white people on this team. I'm sure I'm not the only white passing person with these kinds of stories, so feel free to duet.
The reason I say white Americans have no culture is because most of the things that have become associated with white people were black inventions. White people love vanilla, but did you know that vanilla was actually invented by an enslaved black teenager who was 14 years old? His name was Edmund Albius. He's the person who made vanilla a mass-produced product because he figured out how to rapidly pollinate these plants. Or number two, if you've ever heard of techno music, that was actually invented by black people in Detroit in the 80s, which now has become synonymous with a lot of white people in the US or white Europeans, when actually in reality this was purely the creation of a black person and black people. Or number three, the thing that I think of a lot is how white people have co-opted barbecue. Specifically in California, where I grew up, you will see a lot of barbecue joints that were actually white people's recipes that they stole from black people. It's very much a ripoff of the common Southern home cooking, which, came out of the American South, both during slavery and during the Reconstruction era. So yes, white people don't have any culture, we steal it. And that has historically been the case, and that is why white people are so angry. You know any other inventions created by black people but stolen by white people? Drop them in the comments. Okay, bye.
If there's one thing that is constant in life, it is called change. And so, over the years, there have been a metamorphosis in the terms of mindset in regards to belief system, in regards to what we have been told, to the typical stereotype indoctrination that has been handed from one generation to another generation. And there's a rising a generation that is beginning to question the norms of what they have been told, what they have been made to believe, and they are coming to that realization that all they have been told, all of the fallacies that they have believed are lies, and that deep-seated in every man is the capacity to be good, regardless of skin color, regardless of race, regardless of age, regardless of nationality. You may call me a religious person, but I believe that inherent in man is the tendency to be good, and that is why the Creator made us who we are, and He believes in us and made provision for redemption of the souls of men. And so it's imperative that we understand that the things that have been said concerning the black community, the black people, whether they be the indigenous people of the Americans or the African Americans, is not true. In contrast, they are loving, accommodative, and wonderful people. And just like every other race on the earth, you obviously have people who are extremists in their point of view and thoughts and their opinion. But you do not generalize a group of people by the behavior or the attitude of the few. And so I want to know what your thoughts, your opinions are in the comment section. If you're a returning subscriber, you are welcome to my page.